I started this project with some of the Reynolds Kitchen parchment paper. Smart Grid. It comes in a 50 square foot box. I started this project with some parchment paper and 3/16 wooden dowels. I used a super thin super glue to stick them together, as well as a super glue accelerator. And while I'm doing this, I just want to say thank you to Boylei Hobby Time for the inspiration for this build. Once all three of those were successfully glued together, I measured, then cut along those lines with the Dremel. As a safety tip, please wear safety glasses and a mask while doing things like this. For the rest of them, instead of using the Dremel, I use this utility knife that I don't much care about. After cutting 4 of those out, I glued them together with more super glue and super glue accelerator. After I had made 2 of those, I had my 2 side walls almost done. And then I chopped up this one dowel to go into this cup, and that'll come in handy in a second. But first I wanted to add one more dowel because it just didn't seem quite high enough to me. After it was glued, I chopped off the excess. And then I sanded the ends flat with my Dremel. Once I had done that, I had both my side and front walls just about done. This is where these little pieces come in handy. I used this Dremel bit to drill little holes so they would be kind of countersunk in. I did this off camera, and there are my 4 walls. All I needed to do was mark and cut out the windows. After I had cut them out, they looked pretty good. Then I needed to cut the bottom. Cut the bottom off of these so that they would fit to the other walls. Like so. And they can almost, but not quite, stand up on their own. That wasn't needed. Then it was time to start working on the roof. I used the same steps to build the roof as I did to build the walls by gluing the dowels together and then cutting them out with the Dremel. And then I had both of those neatly cut out. And then I stacked all 6 pieces of my house on top of each other ready for assembly. I used super glue to stick just about everything together. I added a ridge pole and glued on the roof. After one side was glued on, I glued on the other side, and I'm really happy with how this is turning out. This piece is for the door, and these are for the window trim. I cut each piece into about 3 pieces to make smaller pieces. Nice. Once I had a bunch of little pieces, I glued the window frames and the door in off camera. After that, it was time to prime. Once I had primed everything, I came back inside and it was time to paint. I used one color of brown to paint the entire house. After that, I gave the whole house a frosty white dry brush. It looks just as frosty like I want. The hole in the base is for wires for LEDs. These trees are to go behind the house just like Boylei Hobby Times. Who remembers this scene from my last snowy build? After those were stuck in place, it was time to add the snow, which I did off camera. I apologize. Another apology is that I lost my turntable, so it's gonna be no turntable. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to all my Discord members, and I will see you all next week.